Welcome to Joyful Jen Yoga. Today's practice is a quick flow to get your center, to get your core warmed up. We're starting to head into some cooler months. Our forecast may or may not have said snow on Friday, so I'm just preparing mentally to start to build some of that internal heat that we start to lose as we move deeper into fall and winter. So we'll build some heat together today. As always, do what feels right to you, skip what doesn't, but the idea is to move and groove and feel a little warm from the inside out. So enjoy. We'll get started today on hands and knees. To start out, walk your knees just a hair wider than your hips and start to move your hips in a figure eight motion. So imagine that your sacrum, that little triangle bone at the base of your spine, is making little tiny figure eights on the ceiling. Continue to move in this way, as big or little of movements as feels good to you. And as you explore, notice, how do your hips feel? How does your low back feel? Pause and see if you can start to make those movements in reverse. So reversing that figure eight. Consciously moving your pelvis, moving your low back and your hips. Take another breath in that movement. Noticing if it's different when you switch direction. Keeping that steady breath in and out through your nose. And then pause. Walk the knees back in so they're under your hips. Take your right hand and flip your palms so the back of your hand is touching the earth. And we'll keep that figure-eighting motion going, but move into your shoulders. So notice how that feels. How do your shoulders feel? How does it feel on your wrist to move in this way? Keep that same flow moving in your shoulders. Flip the right hand back so that it's on the earth again, and then flip the left palm over. So palm is up, continuing to make that figure eight motion, warming up the wrists, warming up the shoulders, staying connected in your core, staying engaged in your breath. Pause, both palms down, flip the direction of that figure eight, and then spin your right fingertips so they're facing back towards your body. You might find they don't go all the way back, and that's perfectly fine. You're just exploring range of motion. Pause, flip the right palm forward, left fingertips back. This is a really nice way to warm up your wrist and your spine before you start moving in vinyasas, giving your wrists a little warm up, your shoulders a little warm up. Beautiful. And then pause, flip the palms back so fingertips are forward. Tuck your toes and walk yourself back so that your hips are directly over your heels, and just notice how the bottoms of your feet feel, how the soles of your feet feel. Start to build a little heat. If this feels like way too much, you can always bring your body weight off of your heels. It's perfectly fine. And begin to notice your inhales and exhales. Can you lengthen them a little bit? We'll take 3 full breaths here. And then come forward, hands land again, pat the tops of your feet, release that, and then walk up to a tall kneel. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. On exhale, pull your hips back into a child's pose. Inhale, use your core and your thighs to lift yourself up to a tall kneel. Exhale, fold it back in. 3 more. Working up to some more dramatic movements, some bigger movements, some gross motor movements. Starting subtle, building up heat. Inhale reaches you up, exhale fold forward. Inhale, come forward onto all fours. tuck your toes and hover your knees an inch or so off the ground. Keep your shoulders over your wrists for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees, shift your hips back, child's pose, flip your palms up, and start to bring your fingertips into small little fists here. Releasing every finger one at a time, spreading your fingers out wide, and then tucking your fingers into a tiny little ball, opening back up, bringing your fist back in. One more time, opening your hand back up, spreading your fingers, flipping your palms over, arrive back in all fours. Tuck your toes again, float your knees, keep your low belly lifted, tap your right foot to the right side of your mat, come back. Left toes to the left side of your mat, come back. Right to right, back to center, left to left, back to center, right to right, center, left to left, center. Lower your knees, shift your hips back, send your hands, your arms back behind you. 3 breaths. Coming back to that all fours position, toes tucked, knees an inch off of the mat. Tap your right toes straight back behind you, draw the knee under you. Left toes back behind you, knee under you. Right back, right in. Left back, left in. Right back, right in. Left leg and back. Shift your hips up and back, widen your stance, and take yourself for a little walk in your down dog. Notice if your shoulders are feeling some warmth, feeling some heat. Notice if your center, if your core feels any warmer. Take another inhale, and then exhale into stillness. Inhale, float yourself forward to high plank, let your knees land. Keep that shift forward, lower to the earth. Untuck your toes, pull your heart forward into a low cobra, and then lower back down to the earth. Lift up, press up through a strong all fours or a high plank, and back to down dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, right knee to your nose. Inhale, right leg stretches up. Exhale, right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, stretch up. And replace that right foot down. Full breath in down dog. Inhale, float forward into your high plank. Knees lower. Shift forward, keep your core lifted. Lower to the earth. Pull your heart forward, low cobra. Lower back down. Shift up through that strong all fours. So your shoulders and your hips stay in alignment, or you're in that high plank. Left leg reaches up from your down dog. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Inhale, reach it back. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, reach it back. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, left foot down. Shift forward, float forward to high plank. Knees lower, lower all the way down to the earth. Pull your heart forward, cobra. And then lower back down. Shift up through that strong all fours. If you're not sure, start by pressing your knees. Lift your low belly and see if you can keep that lift, ribs to hips, as you press straight up and back to down dog. Take another breath in your down dog, and then look forward, step or float your feet to your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, soften into the fold. Press through your heels. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your spine and then step back to high plank. Shift forward, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, pull your heart forward, cobra or up dog. And then shift back to downward facing. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, right foot in between your your hands. Left hand plants, right arm reaches up, and we circle that right wrist. Circle in the other direction. And replace that right hand down. Let your left shin come to the earth. Right leg reaches back. Left hand under left shoulder, right arm stretches up. Modified Vashisthasana, side plank. You could bring that right foot to your right hand and open up through your heart and your chest. And then release. Stretch that right arm up again. Look forward to the top of the mat. Maybe your right hand lands, maybe it doesn't. Right foot steps forward. Tuck the left toes. We're back in a runner's lunge. Pivot the left heel down. Right hand to the inside of your right foot, maybe on a block. Left arm stretches up. Open up through your inner thigh. Take another inhale. Exhale, left hand lands. Come back to the ball of the left foot. An option again to lower the shin or roll to the outside of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top. Right arm reaches up, side plank. Full inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Shift forward, knees up or down, lower chaturanga. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, over toes. Left leg reaches up. Left foot steps forward. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches, and we circle that left wrist. Circle in both directions. And then land your left wrist. Lower your right shin, and then press into your right hand and see if you can sweep the left leg back behind you into that modified side plank. Staying here, bending the left knee, reaching back for the foot. Opening up across your heart and your chest. And then gently releasing, stretching out. See if you can step the left foot forward. Remember that left hand can come down. Tuck the right toes. We're back in that runner's lunge for a breath. And then pivot your right heel. Left hand on the earth or a block. Right arm reaches up. Notice how your side body feels in this shape. Full inhale. Exhale, right hand lands. Come back onto the ball of that right foot, and then we'll roll all the way to the pinky toe side of that right foot. Left leg stacks on top. Side plank, or remember that that knee could always come to the earth. Full inhale. Exhale, left hand lands. Shift forward, lower chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls forward. Exhale, over toes, down dog. Take a full inhale and exhale. Look forward, step or float to the top of your space. Lengthen your spine and fold it in. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to hearts. Bring your feet so they're hips width distance apart, maybe 2 fist distance if it helps to have that visual. And then draw your arms out in front of you like I dream of Jeannie. So forearms are parallel to the earth, shoulder blades are active. Take an inhale, spread your toes. Exhale, sink it back into your Utkatasana. Chair pose here, really active. Instead of squeezing legs in, pull your knees out slightly so they're in line with your toes and so that you can feel your underglute activate. Take an inhale and then exhale, fold it forward. Wrap those arms around your legs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Inhale, arms sweep all the way up, maybe a little baby back bend, and hands to hearts. Quick thinking, which arm was on top? Put the opposite arm there. We'll return back into our Utkatasana. And then from here, pull your right heel forward, tap toward the top of the mat, and come back to your chair. Left heel toward the top of the mat, back to chair. Right heel forward and back. Left heel forward and back. One more time each side. Right foot forward and then left foot forward. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, catch your arms back behind you. Interlace fingers. Lift your heart, lift your chest. Fold forward. Notice. Do you feel a little heat burning in your body? Do you feel a little bit more connection? And then releasing your arms down. Inhale, lengthen. Soften in, and then inhale, press all the way back up. Little baby back bend. Hands to heart. We'll play with one more chair variation just to make sure that we're heating up from heels to head. We'll come back to that I Dream of Jeannie stance. Drop our bum back. Find our weight rooted down into the earth so the standing leg stays really stable. And we'll lift the right leg, tap to the right, come back to center. Tap to the left, center. Right to right, center. Left to left, center. One more on each side. Try to stay really stable in your torso. And back. Inhale, arms sweep up. On exhale, catch your right knee. Give your right thigh a little hug into your chest. Release. Give your left thigh a little hug into your chest. And release. We'll play with some curtsy squats just to get that heat building again. Hug that right knee in. And then draw it back behind your left. Bend in. Inhale, hug that knee back in front of you. Exhale, sweep it back. Do whatever makes you feel graceful here. What feels good? If there's a mudra you're working with, maybe you bring this into your Shiva squats. If you're trying simply to stay upright, maybe you have your hands on a wall or a piece of furniture. Keep with your breath. 2 more on this side. Hug it in. Send it back. Hug it in. And send it back. Hug that knee in and release. Give it a good shake. We'll switch sides. Root into your right foot. Hug the left knee in. Pause a breath. And then draw the leg back behind you on exhale. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, bring it back behind you. Keep that movement. Try to pair it with your breath. Two more. And back. Come back to center. Give it a hug. Give it all a great big shake. Draw your feet as far apart as feels comfortable on your mat. Imagine toes facing somewhat forward, but they'll be out to the side at a little angle. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, bring it down to Malasana. Pause in your squat. It could be a squat of stillness or it could be of movement. What feels right and important in your body. And then with or without your hands, we'll lower down onto our bum. Feet together, knees apart. Walk forward into your Baddha Konasana. And then start to walk your way up and let yourself lower all the way down onto your back. So you're staying in that Baddha Konasana, and this time you're bringing your hands back above your head. So hands are toward one another, elbows are out to the side. We'll float our feet off the ground and start to bring right elbow to right knee, left elbow to left knee, right to right, left to left. It's kind of a silly motion. Notice how it feels in your center. Work those feet up off the ground, but press them together. Keep moving side to side, feeling that heat, feeling that warmth build in your body, your own doing, right? It can be snowing outside and you can still feel heat and warmth. Pause, lower, hug those knees into your chest. Good. Root into your feet. Spread your toes, but continue to press evenly between the heels and the big toe mounds. Press into your hands and inhale, lift up into your bridge. Now start to root into that left foot. Press your right foot to the sky. Tap your hips toward the ground and press up. Tap and press for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross that right ankle over your left thigh after your hips have landed and hug the left knee into your chest. Give yourself a little movement if that feels good. A little sweep side to side. And then go ahead and land that left foot. Shake out the right leg and land the right leg. Press into your hands again. A little lift of your heart. Press into your feet as you lift your hips. And then draw your left foot up to the sky. We'll tap our hips down and press up. Tap hips down and press left foot to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips, cross that left ankle, and hug the right knee in. Notice, is there a little bit of warmth in your body, hopefully at this point? What does your breath feel like? Release that right foot down, give the left leg a good shake. And then when you land your foot, lift your hips, wiggle your hips to the left. Let your knees move to the right. Left arm opens out to the left, you could gaze left. If you want to wrap the left knee over the right, you could do that as well. Notice in your twists the focus on the center of your body. And let your breath start to soften some. And then unwind. Bring yourself back through to center. Lift your hips, wiggle them to the right side of your mat. Knees not go over to the left. Could gaze to the right. Maybe the right knee wraps itself around the left if that feels good to you. Do what makes sense in your body. Be with what's true for you in the moment. Sometimes it's important to give ourselves some semblance of control, right? We can't control what the weather's doing, but we can control our preparation. We can control how we breathe, how we dress, the activities we participate in. Come all the way back through to center, unwinding, drawing your knees towards your armpits, reach up for your feet, and rock a few times side to side in happy baby. If you know that there's some shapes that you still need to move and groove with, certainly do that now. If you're feeling ready, we'll work our way down to Shavasana. If you prefer a seated meditation, know that that's always an option. You can draw your palms out to the side. Take a moment to wiggle your shoulder blades under your back. Support yourself with any propping that feels comfortable. Maybe you place a blanket over your body or even a blanket folded over your hips just to give a little bit of weight, a little bit of grounding. yourself to be supported by the earth. Allow yourself to soften just a little of that holding, a little of that control, that feeling that we really have any say in the game at all, right? Let yourself be for a moment. Be fully present in all that is this moment. As always, if you can stay for longer, please do. But if you need to carry on with your day, you might start to wiggle fingers and toes. And stretching your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch and a full body breath in. And a big out your mouth. Draw knees into your chest, offer up a sweet hug, and then roll over to your favorite side and make your way up to a seat. When you arrive seated, draw hands to heart. Let your eyes soften closed for a moment. Bow forehead to fingertips in gratitude. I wish you abundant joy. Be well.